So let's talk about the K-Hive. What is the K-Hive? The K-Hive is Kamala Harris's personal toxic army online, basically online trolls. It's basically a fan club of Kamala Harris. And their purpose seems to be they engage is actually too nice of a word. They attack anybody online who criticizes Kamala Harris. And just to put this into perspective, you all remember the Bernie bros from 2016, the primary of 2016, the Democratic primary, and how nasty they were to anybody online who criticized Bernie Sanders. Well, the hashtag K-Hive makes the Bernie bros look mild. In fact, there have been Bernie Sanders supporters from Bernie Sanders' own staff who have criticized the K-Hive for how toxic and how mean they are. It's, particularly, they're mean to David Sirota, who is an advisor to Bernie Sanders. Now, Kamala Harris, she can't really distance herself from this toxic gang online because she herself has thanked them. She thanked them, and her husband, Doug, has actually called members of the K-Hive to express his thanks. Likewise, Joe Biden has thanked the K-Hive, not exactly by name, but this is what Biden has said. He said, quote, "If I have her team behind me, I know there's no stopping us." And when he refers to her team, he's talking about the K-Hive here. Now, their name, this hashtag K-Hive, is a ripoff, really, of Beyonce. So Beyonce also has this online fan club. They call themselves the Beehive, based on her name, Beyonce. And so they've ripped that off and called themselves the K-Hive here. Sometimes they even hashtag K-Hive, so it's not any kind of derogatory term that other people have labeled them. They have owned this. They have named themselves or labeled themselves the K-Hive. And when I'm talking toxicity, when I'm talking how mean they are, how nasty they are in their attacks, even Marianne Williamson, who was in the Democratic primary in 2020, asked Kamala Harris directly to tell the K-Hive to, quote, "stand back and stand by," because they're just so horrendously mean. Now, you might be wondering why I'm smiling, and the reason for that is because some of the things they say are just so atrociously outrageous. It is actually humorous that this is how an adult would behave in our country. But they also peddle a lot of the debunked, the broken, the false, the biased, even the racist tropes that come from the Democratic Party. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to debunk what's going on here so that this doesn't become part of the Democratic Party. In fact, one member of the K-Hive actually admits that they are hostile and toxic, but this is how they justify their meanness. They say, quote, "If the K-Hive seems to be hostile or toxic, we have every right to be after dealing with the constant misogyny and blatant racism." Sounds like a lovely bunch, don't they? Here's the thing. As always, if there actually is racism, if there are particular instances of racism in this country, of course, I'm happy to stand next to anybody and decry that racism, decry that racial discrimination, decry, if it's a crime, speak out for legal consequences for that crime specifically. And if it's individual racism that isn't a crime, to speak out against that character flaw, that sin. However, the K-Hive, as with the 1619 Project or critical race theory or the rest of the Democratic Party, they claim that every white person is racist or a purveyor of white supremacy just based on the fact that they have white skin, based on the fact that they were born a white person, which is obviously ridiculous.